See, my situation was a lot different than people know because I couldn't talk about it before because it was a gag order.
I read that you were upset about stories that your overspending caused this.
She says to me, I hear you have Gucci flatware. I'm Oprah Winfrey and I don't have Gucci flatware. And immediately, she made me feel this big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down on me.
Rumor has it, baby, that Oprah is being exposed once more by Toni Braxton, who has not only humiliated her on television, but has actually ruined her entire career.
Please welcome Toni Braxton!
She was so freaking mean to me. I was in shock.
Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%?
100%. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me.
I read that you were upset about stories that your overspending caused this.
She says to me, I hear you have Gucci flatware. I'm Oprah Winfrey and I don't have Gucci flatware.
First of all, I didn't know Gucci made silverware.
You ain't got Gucci flatware because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down on me.
I won't say stop me cold, but what is it that you've learned from this experience?
I think the most important thing I learned is to trust and believe in myself, and don't put all your trust and belief in someone else when it comes to handling your money.
Oh, please, that is the first rule.
Instead of making Toni feel worse and humiliating her in front of millions, Oprah, who Toni truly looked up to, could have offered support and encouragement during her darkest hours. According to reports, Toni is still secretly upset with Oprah for what she did to her and her career. However, is it really our fault that Toni still harbors feelings for Oprah? To refresh everyone's memory on this messy Toni-Oprah situation, the fact is that Toni Braxton filed for bankruptcy multiple times in spite of her success, which included making over $170 million in record sales for her label. She made less than 35 cents per album, even though she was essentially making millions for her record label, Arista Records. That was insane, really, given that she has sold 70 million albums and won multiple Grammys. In fact, Toni began singing with her sisters in the Braxtons in the late 1980s. She later signed on for her solo album, Toni Braxton, which was released in 1993 and quickly became a hit, selling 10 million copies and peaking at #1 on the Billboard 200. The album, which was produced by Antonio L.A. Reid and Babyface, was also bolstered by the notable singles Breathe Again and Another Sad Love Song. Toni then released Secrets, another successful album that featured the hit song Unbreak My Heart to follow up her debut. The single was one of the best-selling singles ever, selling 10 million copies worldwide. All 9 of her studio albums, the most recent of which was released in 2020, were successful. To put it simply, the fact that the same Toni was earning less than 35 cents per album didn't make sense. She even sued her label. Additionally, Toni declared bankruptcy in January 1998, 8 weeks after bringing the lawsuit against the label. She later disclosed that her recording contract problems, which resulted in her receiving less than $2,000 in royalties and having to pay back her record label for expenses related to clothing, travel, studio time, and music videos, were the reason she filed for bankruptcy. At one point, her circumstances became so dire that Toni was charged with defrauding her ex-husband, Kerry Lewis, of roughly $53,000 to avoid repaying creditors in her bankruptcy case. Unfortunately, Toni had to cancel her lucrative Las Vegas contract in 2010 after being diagnosed with lupus and microvascular angina, which led to her filing for bankruptcy.
You have nothing left over. They're great.
As fans began connecting the dots between these incidents, their suspicion grew stronger that Oprah played a significant role in Toni's decline. This perception was fueled by the well-known conflict between Oprah and Monique. Many believe that Oprah had effectively derailed Monique's career, and there were even rumors that Monique was on the brink of homelessness. The lack of any public apology from Oprah for the harm inflicted upon Monique only added to these suspicions.
I hear you have Gucci flatware. I'm Oprah Winfrey and I don't have Gucci flatware.
First of all, I didn't know Gucci made silverware.
You ain't got Gucci flatware because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel.
When the Internal Revenue Service placed a first lien against her on December 4th, 2019, she was also experiencing problems. According to the lien, Toni owed $252.99 in back taxes for 2017. A few days later, she was also hit with a $164,154.64 tax lien from the California Franchise Tax Board, making the total amount of back taxes she owed close to $500,000. Toni once confided in Oprah in an interview while dealing with all of these financial problems in the hopes that Oprah would at least help her repair her reputation. Although Toni believed that the interview would help people understand her financial predicament, it ended up being a humiliating and degrading experience for her. She felt that Oprah was judgmental, patronizing, and uncaring. She was being questioned by Oprah on things like, "Do you have a lion skin rug?" and "Do you have Gucci flatware?" and saying things like, "I hear you have Gucci silverware, and you couldn't have imagined that you could buy 7 or 8 cars. I'm Oprah Winfrey, and I don't own any Gucci cutlery." Toni added that although her publicist had encouraged her to do the interview, she regretted it because she felt it inflated her circumstances and tarnished her reputation. Additionally, she charged that Oprah was a self-centered, phony humanitarian. Because she could afford Gucci flatware at that time and Oprah didn't buy it, she actually made it obvious that she was aware of Oprah's insecurities.
Please welcome Toni Braxton!
She was so freaking mean to me. I was in shock.
Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%.
100%. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me.
I read that you were upset about stories that your overspending caused this.
She says to me, "I hear you have Gucci flatware." I'm Oprah Winfrey and I don't have Gucci flatware.
First of all, I didn't know Gucci made silverware.
You ain't got Gucci flatware because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this big. This big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down on me.
As an artist, the films always reflect, and your music as well, also always reflects the times that we're living in. What about this time do you feel like is special about this film and the release of this film?
I think, a film like this is never, I think it's always, how can I say this? When I think of what President Mandela did, and you see that Bishop Desmond Tutu was able to, I should say, make that happen and bringing everyone together. And it's this beautiful, sad story, but at the end, it's I would say that it's wonderful how he made that happen, how he brought all those people together and all the hatred, and he made something positive happen. And the mother's love. The hardest thing to me to do is to love somebody who hates you. And just that mother's moment when she was on the stand, that's what did it for me when I was able to write a song that conveyed what they were trying to do. Yes, I wanted to say that, yes. It's about forgiveness, and that's what I loved about the movie. It's about forgiveness. And if you can forgive somebody for hating you and killing your family, whoa, that demonstrates a whole different kind of love that I hope to be able to do someday.
Back, our next guest has sold more than 40 million records worldwide and won 6 Grammys. She had successful runs on Broadway and in Vegas. But tonight, oh baby, tonight, our sister is right here to perform and tell us about all her new music. Please welcome one of the baddest sisters in the game, Miss Toni Braxton! When I sit here And I watched the reactions of the people, baby.
Love you too, guys. Thank you so much.
Look at that, baby.
You see my man?
Look, he said, I'm not okay. I am not okay. Brother, feel every emotion you want to feel right now. Feel every emotion. Do you see what happens when you have been away from us for 5 years? It has been 5 years, baby. When we say you brought us a sound that we had never heard before, you gave us that short haircut that we was too afraid to rock our damn self till you wore it. You gave us the body, you gave us the looks, but you had to take time off to take care of Miss Toni.
I had to do it.
Tell us about it, Mama.
I had to take a little time for myself. I'm a mom, I have 2 kids. My youngest son, Diesel, he suffers from autism. Wanted to make sure he was okay. And let me tell you guys, he's doing great because we found out early. He's in mainstream school. Doing great. He still has his therapies and things like that, but he's doing great. And with myself personally, I had a little heart scare. They told me I had something called microvascular angina. But at first, they told me I needed a heart transplant. So it was really scary. It was a bad time for me, so I had to take some time off, get myself healthy. And now I'm great, and I can come back to work. So this is good.
What'd you say, Rodney?
Oh, she's great.
Oh, she's great. She's great. See, Toni, you be rocking. But look at that.
I work out hard, though.
Did you bring my outfit like that, Toni?
I did. We're going to do something together?
Yes,
Next
baby.
time. Next time,
because I won't appreciate it, okay? Can somebody bring my stockings or something?
Guys, you know, okay, I have to tell the audience this. You know, Monique did a song that's going to be on my album. You guys know that, right? We're not doing it tonight, but next time when I come back.
Okay, I did.
When I come back.
Do a song on my sister's album.
She rocked it.
And I got a call. See, this is the beauty of sisterhood in this industry. I got a call from my sister. She said, Monique, can you come drop something for me on my album, baby? I said, Toni, I'm on my way. Now I get in the studio. It is myself and your beautiful husband, Carrie.
Yes.
And we laying down these tracks. He said, just go in there and say something.
It was hot.
And we did it, baby.
It's hot.
And Toni, I know you ain't got nothing to do with this, but they ain't paid me my damn money.
They did it!
They paid me my damn money, Toni.
See?
I want my money.
I know that's right. I will make sure you get your money.
Spaghetti and chicken. I want my damn money, Toni.
That's not a good look. I will make sure you have it tomorrow.
See, it's a beautiful look for you because you didn't know nothing about it.
I did not know. I wouldn't
Who
have
the
mentioned
record
it.
people? Who are they?
Wait, one of them is here. Where you at?
Where is that? Are they here?
One is here.
Let me just say something right to the record people while they're here. Listen here. I'm going to tell you right from my heart. I never bring any harm to you because that's not who I am. All I want is my damn money.
I know
and
that's
if you don't
right.
give it to me, Mama Lou going to whip your ass. I'm going to tell you that right now. Give me my damn money.
That's crazy.
Now, the new album.
Yes, the new album.
Pulse. Where does the title come from?
I got it from when I got ill, and I didn't think I would ever be able to perform again because once you've had a heart attack or anything like that, it was very challenging for me to walk from the bed to the bathroom. I couldn't breathe, nothing. And they didn't understand. I said, you're so young. Why is she having this? But they're finding a lot of young women, mothers, are having like they have pains in their chest. They don't understand why. They have positive EKGs. It's a little bit abnormal, but nothing else. Everything's fine. But I was having some serious damage going on in my heart. But I'm much better. Medication, some things for the rest of my life, but I am sound. I can do hour-and-a-half show now.
Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate. They wanted me to come work for free. They wanted me to go over to Cannes and promote this film internationally. And I said to them, I said, guys, my deal is with Lee Daniels, and I've done my job. And they all agreed. And this is what happens, in my humble opinion, when you don't go up to the hotel room.
Your job is to go and promote said movie.
Yes.
No. So when they wanted you to come, and we've had this conversation, and I said if you had called me, I could have schooled you on what was expected.
And when we did have that conversation, and what I said to you, my sweet sister, I said, Whoopi, at what point do we stop saying the next time? Because what was expected.
Wait,
but I want to answer it though.
Yeah.
I want to answer when you said contractual.
You want to get paid for the publicity?
Please let me answer. Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. If I had done something wrong contractually, they would have sued me.
Even worse, there were rumors that Oprah intentionally made Toni look bad on her show and told her record label what she was going to do. According to a source, Toni Braxton declared bankruptcy while a contract was being renegotiated. Given that Braxton had sold over 16 million records, LaFace's situation appeared dire. "Tony's on my show today," Winfrey called LaFace after Braxton discussed the bankruptcy on the Oprah Winfrey Show. "I think it's messed up, but she wants to make you guys look awful." Watch the show then. So disgusting, isn't it? It goes without saying that Oprah was criticized at the time for being a snake and projecting her fears onto Toni. We're talking about someone who once claimed that, in order to save money, she would cut off one leg of her pantyhose when the other one ran, then wear it with another single-legged hose. She also talked about how she used to cut pantyhose with runs and use them as support under skirts to make her own DIY version of Spanx. Guys, that's not all. Oprah also admitted to reusing her $3.99 eyelashes, saying that doing so helped her save money and get the benefit of the old lashes worn contour, which gradually improved the fit of her eyes. She claimed to have saved $1.25 by doing so. She would obviously object to Toni using Gucci cutlery. And what do you know? When Oprah recently did a piece celebrating People's 50th anniversary, fans actually came to the conclusion that she was projecting her own insecurities onto Toni. Oprah acknowledged that she still felt uneasy about spending money on luxuries like designer dinnerware, even after she received her first paycheck from the entertainment industry. "I went into Crate Barrel to furnish my apartment in Chicago," she said. "A set of flatware was available for $49.95. I still didn't believe I was earning enough money to buy a 6-piece set, so I didn't save at it." During the interview, Oprah also mentioned that she had experienced the feeling of not being able to afford things. She recalled being in a store where someone was unsure whether to buy the flatware, so she went to the counter and paid for it. "I sound like a broken record, but gratitude really is my religion," Oprah added, discussing how the lessons she learned in those early years influenced her life and influenced her life practice. However, it was evident to many that Oprah was projecting her own fears onto Toni when she said this. Furthermore, considering that Toni had been the family's sole provider, some people still maintain that Oprah ought to have shown her some consideration. Toni even sobbed as she described how she had to handle everything while her sisters took a back seat and only Tamar occasionally tried to assist.
Mommy and Daddy's divorced, and a divorced mom pretty much got nothing. I'm not going to leave my mom by herself. So I'm going to make sure my mother's taken care of. None of my siblings have helped me take care of my mother to make sure she was okay, except for Tamar. No one said,
This is before Vincent.
Before Vince, Mommy's car insurance is due. Let's help Toni with Mommy car insurance. Only Tamar.
She also disclosed that although she was in charge of finances, Tamar, who assisted with the bills, was not requesting anything, while Trina and Tawanda insisted on getting paid for their labor. By the way, she didn't want her sisters to work for free. She just thought that since she was paying them, they would at least be polite enough to look after their mother and do some housework.
Nothing. Shows you still charge her. I don't charge her. When the last time have I charged you for a show?
Tamar
It's been
hasn't charged you
years.
for a show for years. My sister Tamar never charges me to do background singing for me. My sister Trina does. My sister Tawanda, she's an executive assistant. That makes sense for her to get a salary. I just wish every situation was not about Toni's savings and loans.
I have never charged Toni. And what I am saying is it pissed me off. When I saw that you and Tawanda get paid, I was pissed off.
Perhaps Toni's purchase of pricey items was an attempt to show herself gratitude for all of the effort she put into providing for her entire family, and she didn't deserve Oprah's criticism. Actually, Toni clarified in her book that her bankruptcies were caused by a bad contract she had with her management, which required her to pay for her own tours and expenses rather than by an excessive spending on luxuries. The label refused to pay for those expenses, so she was forced to pay everyone out of her own earnings, including the band and crew. In addition to her mounting medical bills from having lupus, she was forced to take out large loans. As a reward for her efforts, she said, the designer flatware was one of the few luxuries she let herself enjoy. However, Oprah used that to undermine her. When Monique captioned a video of the interview, she even discussed how disgusting the entire thing was. If you think Oprah only denigrates black men, it's because black women have been made virtually invisible. In case you forgot or were unaware, check it out for yourself with our sister Toni B. Love us to the end of time. According to reports, Toni is still upset about how her career was destroyed by her encounter with Oprah. She also reportedly shares Mo's hope that Oprah will eventually apologize in public. People are actually supporting her, claiming that Gucci wasn't the reason behind Toni Braxton's financial troubles. However, Oprah diverted everyone's focus from record labels and the question of whether artists should be paid fairly, instead focusing on how Toni could handle her finances and set her up, which was just plain evil. Since Monique is still awaiting her apology, child, I doubt one will ever be given, not to mention how Oprah set Michael Jackson up and did him dirty. But what do you know? Your thoughts on Toni's ongoing feelings of betrayal would be greatly appreciated. Do you believe Oprah should apologize to her? Do you believe that Oprah purposefully disparages Black people? Leave your thoughts in the space provided for comments below.